So today we have the amazing Anu. So we're joined by Mahli Cheema. She's a twin mum, a wife, a passionate advocate for family-driven wellness, fitness and spirituality. And as the co-founder of Arwyn Co, a mushroom supplement brand inspired by her daughter, Anu is dedicated to holistic health and healing. And online, she normally shares her journey of navigating life's challenges, including raising a child with different needs, with love, strength, and resilience. So welcome, Anu.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I was literally so excited to have you on because we met earlier this year, didn't we, at my event? It's so weird because I invited you to attend my event and I was looking at your profile last year and I don't think we'd hardly spoken. But I just had this feeling that, I don't know, energetically,
there was a connection.
Yeah. And I was like, this Anu lady seems really nice. I'm going to invite her to my event.
Oh.
And you came and it was I remember you wearing a really funky, cool hat. And it was just such a pleasure to have you there. And obviously, I'm just so inspired by everything that you've done because I've known about you for a very long time because obviously when I was in the wedding world, I'd heard loads about you.
Oh.
So let's just go through your backstory because you were a really successful makeup artist.
I was. So I was doing makeup for 20 odd years. It was absolutely amazing. Loved every bit of it. I also worked at Mac as well, but then once I was at Mac, I kind of fell into doing freelance hair and makeup and just had a real big passion for it. I really enjoyed it. It was amazing, meeting so many new people in the industry, the brides that I did. It was amazing, and I'm just glad that I took them opportunities. As at a point, my dad was very much against it. He was just like, why do you want to do makeup for? As you get with Asian parents, do business. And I was just like, no, Dad. I'll go, look, I need to follow my dreams and I need to do this. And I did. And I'm so glad I followed through and made them things happen. And, it's 20 years or so. And then I went into teaching as well and had my own training academy, which was lovely. And I was teaching at London, Birmingham, Leicester. It was just an incredible journey.
Yeah. And obviously back then, business was so different 20 years ago, wasn't it?
It was really different. It was it felt a lot more easier and in place, but you didn't have a lot of social media apart from, I can remember it being more so Facebook.
Yeah.
But it was very different. And how I kind of got into it was, I used to meet people at Mac when they used to come into the store. I used to chat to them and he's do you come out to do bridal? And I was like, yeah, I can do. Why not? Let's give it a shot. And I used to, make contacts and they used to just call me up and say, can you come and do my bridal? And it just kind of grew from that. Had some business cards done, started handing them out to everyone that I met. And it was crazy because there wasn't many makeup artists out at that time at all. And then, it just kind of grew from there, Sean. It was nice. It was a lovely journey of that.
And you, you're probably just downplaying it, but you were literally one of the big names in the Midlands, right? You were.
Oh, well, kind of, but it was not. I was very humble with it all, and I was grateful for it. And but I remember the days when I used to go into a bridal house with brides getting married, and they were like, "Oh, Mahli's here, Mahli's here," and I used to be like, "Oh my God, they're talking about me," and I was just like, "Whoa, that's just that was just amazing to hear." But at the same time, I was, I was grateful for that experience that I had. And it was wonderful. I met so many lovely, lovely people along the way.
Yeah. But now, obviously, if you don't mind me asking, you are changing paths.
Yes, I am. So I kind of took a backseat from makeup probably about 2 years ago, roughly. And I just thought I need to take a backseat of other things that were coming up and other challenges in my life at the moment. So I was just like, I need to kind of dedicate some time to my family. And I really did take a bit of a backseat. So I think it's probably about, 2018. And then I kind of slowly, gradually start fading out from the makeup scene. which was crazy because that's all I've ever known. That's all I've ever done and enjoyed. But I guess when it comes to family, you've got to kind of look at it and think, okay, my needs, and I need to, help my family for their needs and what they need at this time.
Yeah.
So it all kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah. And talk us through, was there specific reasons why it changed?
There is. So I think it was in 2016, I fell pregnant with my twins. And I was excited because I've always wanted twins. And when it actually happened, I was just like, oh my God, I'm actually pregnant, and I'm pregnant with twins. And then when we found out it was a boy and a girl, we were just like over the moon. It was such an amazing time. It was exciting. So that was 2016, fell pregnant, bought a house. Everything was looking amazing. And in life, it just felt I was so content at that time. Everything was falling into place. It was a great time for me and my husband. And then I think it was about a year or so after. So when the twins turned about a year and a half, I think that's when we start seeing changes in my daughter. And it was a bit scary because she was hitting all her milestones before. She was hitting all her milestones. She was doing amazing. She was actually walking and crawling before her brother. And then, all of a sudden, it was kind of, we weren't seeing the same progression as her brother. We were like, what's going on? Is this something to worry about? Is this normal? And then I think at that time we, made appointments to see the doctors. And went to see the doctors. I said, it could be just global development delays. Don't worry, it's all okay. But when you see a child, you've got both kids at the same age and you see them both and you think, there's a difference here, there's change. I know you shouldn't compare kids, but it was just he was doing really, really well. And there was a bit of delays from Arwyn, and we were like, this doesn't seem right. But we kind of carried on and just thought, okay, the doctors have said it's all okay. Maybe it is global development delays. Maybe we'll just ride it through and just see, things can change. And then I'll probably say it was another year or so. And then it was like, this is not, normal. There was still delays there, and we were getting worried now. And at that time, as a mother, you just think something's not right here. You get a little bit lost and a bit scared, and you think, God, all you want for your kids is them to be healthy and well. And this was not, it felt so uncomfortable. And we were at a stage thinking, okay, we need to look into this further. We need to see how we can help her, because there are differences. And it was stuff like there was no eye contact. We'd call her, she wouldn't really respond to it. She was very kind of disconnected from us. And at that time, I just, it was lonely. I was just like, what do we do? Where can we go from this? So it kind of really, hit us. And it was, my whole kind of world was upside down at that time. It was very scary. So that's where we are at the moment. So now I think it's about the age of 4 years old. We went to see a lot of specialists and doctors, and at that time, there was a diagnosis given at that time because before that, they couldn't really diagnose her with anything at that time. So when she turned to the age of 4, they did diagnose her with autism spectrum. I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
And so when that was, said to us and mentioned, I think at that time our world just kind of crushed, and it really hit me hard at that time, where I was just like, wow, where do we kind of go from there?
Yeah.
It's a bit scary.
It's so difficult, isn't it, to talk about these things, and you're just so brave. Because in our culture, we don't, unfortunately, talk about these things.
We don't. And this is the first time I'm kind of speaking out, because I thought it's time to kind of say something now, because I think we've held back for so long. And it's, she's 8 years old now.
Yeah.
By now I thought, okay, maybe she'll grow out of it. maybe things will change, because we've done so much, Sean. Like, we've done so many therapies with her. We've taken to private doctors, anything that you can think of to help her progress.
Yeah.
We've done it, and we've given her natural remedies. Everything that you can think of, we've done it. And we didn't really want to go down the medical route. So everything that we've done is kind of through like natural remedies and studies that we've read about. Like, my husband's amazing at doing research.
Yeah.
And he was constantly researching, what can we try next? What can we do next? Maybe this will help, that will help, and everything. And we have seen changes in her. Like, there is changes. There's a lot more eye contact with her now. There is, you know, she'll grab our hand and take us to what she wants. And there's certain like kind of sounds that she will make where, you know, we know what it is and we've kind of understand her language, because at the moment she is pre-verbal. So that in itself is like a big challenge for us. And, you know, she even sometimes when I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, like, I actually haven't heard my daughter's voice. And that kind of hits you quite hard. And you think, you know, how do you get up from this? And like, where do you go? And it's been a big challenge, but I know that we'll get through it one way or another with both like me and my husband and my son. He's amazing.
Aww.
He really, really is. And he's so supportive with her, and he helps in any way and every way he can. It's like when we go out and we'll get him a toy or something, he'll be like, where's Arwyn? Have you got one for Arwyn? Like, yes, Chris, we've got one for Arwyn as well. So he is really amazing with her, and he's really caring towards her. And they've kind of shared that journey together, and he doesn't know any different.
Yeah.
You know, he has asked questions, and, you know, it makes my heart melt when he asks certain questions. It's like, oh, how come Arwyn's doing that and I'm not doing this? And you've got to explain to him, but he's so understanding with it all, which is, you know, amazing. I think we just make it work as a family, and I think you have to. So yes, it's been a big journey, a long journey, but we're doing everything that we can to support her and help her in any way we can.
Yeah. And I think like when you have things like this happening, like my brother's got learning difficulties as well, but it's obviously a lot different to Arwyn's as well. Like, what do you think like helped you get through it all?
I'd have to say is mindset, because I think a few years ago, I was, you know, we were both really lost, and I was just like, if I don't kind of change, or if I don't change my mindset, it's just going to get more and more difficult, or I'm not going to be a good mum for my kids. I'm not going to be a good wife. And, you know, so you've got to kind of just think, I've got to sort this out, got to change it, got to make some changes, because I was really going down a route where I was getting too stressed, couldn't handle it. There was a lot of tears. You know, I just remember the time that, you know, even now to this day, like, there will still be tears because you're going to have them hard days. But what's helped me is to change my morning routine. So me and my husband will get up about 4:30 in the morning.
Wow, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. And what I would do is work out. So I don't know whether you've seen my Instagram videos.
I have.
So I really got into my fitness, and that really changed my mindset. And I was just like, look, I need to take care of myself so I can be better. So that really, really helped. And then I start meditating, reading something positive. That really, really helped. And just to strengthen both of our minds. So my husband would do the same thing as well. And that's what's helped us, because now I'm kind of set for the day. So if we have any challenges in that day with Arwyn, or she's upset or anything like that, we're kind of more so ready for it, because your mindset's already in a good place. So that really, really helped us. And, you know, I'm glad that I've changed that mindset and to strengthen it, because if I don't do it, Sean, I'm a complete different person.
Yeah,
in the
it's
day.
so true, isn't it?
You can ask my husband, he'll be like, you haven't meditated.
Yeah.
You haven't done your exercise today. And, you know, sometimes you don't get a chance in the morning because Arwyn might have a night where she's not, you know, she's upset or whatever. She'll wake up in the middle of the night. So on them days, you are knackered in the morning and you think, I need to get up. But it's so hard sometimes. So if I do miss it, I'm like, why didn't I get up? Why didn't I get up? Because it makes such a difference to how I am in the day. And that's really, really helped. And like, you have to help yourself so you can help others.
Yeah, 100%. And so in terms of like the exercise then, do you just do like home work? Is it home workouts?
Yeah. So I can't get into the gym. I really can't because I just feel I need my own space.
Yeah.
I need to work out in my own time because sometimes you have to wait for a machine or whatever it is. And I just thought, okay, I'm just going to set up at home. So me and my husband both like brought some equipment, you know, your dumbbells, and then we've got the cable machine.
Yeah.
So that's really, really helped. So in the morning, I'll do a good kind of hour at my workout. And, you know, I'll do a different part of my body each day, whatever it is. So normally on a Monday, I'll do like leg day, and Tuesday will be like upper body, and then kind of just rotate it. But that does really, really help. And, you know, I'm excited to do it. Like normally, like, you know, you can't be bothered to do a workout, but I actually look forward to it because it's me time. It's kind of getting my emotions together, my feelings, and to have a little think and be by myself and meditate before I start the day. And it's really, really helped.
Yeah. And then the meditation, is it just like silent meditation or do you listen to something?
Yeah, it's actually either breath work, because I used to listen to stuff and I couldn't get into it, Sean. I was like, it was distracting me. It's weird. It was like, I was just like, I can't actually meditate to this. So I'll either like do breath work in silent, or I will visualize. And normally what I will visualize is Arwyn talking. And I'll visualize us being on the beach because I love being on the beach. And so do like Christian Arwyn, they love being on the beach. And now I've got my husband into it as well. So I'm just like, let's move to a beach and let's just stay there. But yeah, so I'll visualize that, her talking to us or her talking to my mom or anything like that, just to kind of have that visualization where it makes you feel better and uplifted, and like anything is possible. And I always believe and think that, you know, there's so many scientific studies that come out for, you know, the autism spectrum where you can help your kids. And I really believe that, you know, we will hear her voice and she will talk. We just got to keep going at it and fighting it and helping her in every way we can.
That's just so inspirational, honestly. It just like really touches my heart. Because like, I was watching this program actually yesterday, and it was this couple, I think they were like in Hawaii, and they both had Down syndrome.
Oh, really?
But oh my God, they were achieving. Like the guy had his own like burger van.
Oh, wow.
And like they were just really like excelling in what they were doing. Yeah. And I think it's this narrative that we've also been fed as a society that, especially like, because I've got a brother who's got learning difficulties. And I think we've been fed this narrative that I think back in the day, people just kind of like gave up. Like it's like that narrative was spun like, oh, you know, he's down there, you know, like he's just like that. Yeah. But now I think it's so inspiring to see people like you who are like challenging the narrative and challenging the norm and actually like taking things into your own hands and doing, like you said, like being positive, having a positive mindset. She's already come on like leaps and bounds, you were saying. Yeah. That's just amazing.
Yeah, I think you have to. And as hard as it was, Shauna, even like now, like we will have hard days. But because of like we're both quite positive and optimistic, it just helps. And I think you have to do it, you know, and it's a choice. You know, you have to make that choice for yourself. You can obviously choose to think, okay, I can't be bothered with this. I'm not going to do anything. But if you choose to like just do it and just start there at a time, it makes such a big difference. And you know, at the beginning it was hard for me because I was like, is this even going to help me? Is this even going to work? And it has. And you know, that's why I wouldn't stop it. Like I know there's been days where you're ill or whatever it is, but even then even this morning I felt a little bit rough, but I was like, no, I'm going to work out. And it actually made me feel better. And so I think you have to kind of, do it for yourself and do it for the people that you love around you and stuff.
Yeah. So you normally work out, then do meditation, then get into your day, right?
Yeah.
And then what time do you go to sleep?
Well, normally we'll try and put the kids in bed for about, say, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And sometimes Arwyn doesn't want to get into bed, but eventually she does. And when she does, then we've got a bit of time. But we'll try and aim to get into bed for about, say, 9:30, 10 o'clock. And we'll have a good chat about that day. And again, we'll talk about something that we're grateful for in that day. So whether it's Arwyn doing something or, Chris doing something, we'll talk about that, what we've kind of achieved on that same day and anything like that, just so we're going to sleep on a positive note. And, my husband's he's the one that always asks me when we're in bed, he'll be like, okay, so what are 5 things that you're grateful for today? And without anything, he always remembers to ask me. And I'm like, okay, I think you never forget to ask, do you? But yeah, so I'll give him 5 things that we're grateful for. And then he'll give me 5. And it's nice because, it's nice to end that day on a positive note rather than thinking, oh, this happened or that happened and this didn't go right. But, I'm glad that we're both in that same boat. And if it, he is my strength. I'm so grateful for him to have him, because I wouldn't want this journey in any other way without him, because he's just been amazing and he's such a hands-on dad with it all. So I'm grateful that we've got each other and we're on this journey together.
Amen to the Asian men who support their women. Honestly.
Yeah, it's so true. Honestly, it makes such a big difference. It really honestly does. And it's nice that he's there to support and help. And he's been great with Arwyn. And honestly, Sean, the amount of research he does is just, and the knowledge that he has is incredible.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
So in terms of navigating these challenges then, obviously this isn't a context around our Asian community and Asian families.
Yeah.
So how have you found that in terms of that setting, I suppose?
I think that's been the hardest thing. I think that's why it's taken us so long to come out. And before this, I want to be honest and say we were in hiding, Sean. We didn't want to go out. We didn't want Arwyn to get judged. We didn't want her to feel, that she's any different. Anything like that. So that was really, really difficult. We didn't want to go to parties with Arwyn. And, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but it was just, I didn't want anyone to question anything. And I think I found it really difficult. I think we both did. And we were both lost. And I think we really kind of took a back seat from friends and family. I used to be really close to some of my friends, and I really took a back seat because I just I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how they would react. But, now it felt like the right time to be something. There's other people out there that feel the same as I do. But I think it's time to kind of open up and talk about these feelings. And I think, the vulnerability if you open up about that, it helps others. And so I really think that's, it wasn't the right thing maybe to do, but at that time, I didn't know what else to do. And I honestly did not want her to get judged wherever we went. And even now, sometimes when we go to a restaurant and there's people there or Asians there or whatever it is, you just don't want people to look over and think, oh, what's wrong with her? Or why isn't she sitting down? And why is she getting upset? So, we really kind of took a backseat and didn't, go anywhere for a very long time and closed ourselves off from friends and family. Apart from the immediate family, like my parents and stuff, we really closed off. And I guess it was hard because even though you want to maybe talk out, I just couldn't do it, Sean. It was just so lost in it. I think we were both lost in it. It was just difficult at that time.
It is so difficult, isn't it? And I think you just don't know what the right thing is. And I think judgment is such a big thing in our culture.
Yeah.
Even with my brother, I mean, you know, he's got learning difficulties, but he's, you know, fully able, fully bodied. Like, you know, if you saw him, you wouldn't think anything. It's only when he starts to speak, you realise, you know, he's got learning differences. But it's just like, even with him, like it's always been like difficult to navigate, because it's like what, you know, what I remember when we were younger, like what other people think. But now it's got to a point where like he's like, you know, he's 30, he was 37 last week.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it's got to a point now where I'm like, because there was always this thing like, oh, he's not like masculine enough like my other cousins. He's not like going out and like, you know, he's not like the other boys basically in the family. But now it's just kind of like, if we saw him last weekend for his birthday, and he was just like so over the moon that me and Dav went. And he was just so happy and just so grateful. And then he went for like a drink with my husband. My husband like absolutely loves him. And they get on really well. And my brother like completely adores my husband as well. And like, I've kind of been kicked out of this relationship now. But then you just think, oh my God, like, you know, we get so much love from him, so much, like, it's so pure. Whereas, like, you then compare him to, like, other kind of extended family members, and you think, oh my God, like, my brother, he's my brother, and he's always going to be there for us. Like, he's so, like, loyal. He's always got our back. And you just think, like, it doesn't matter.
No,
like,
it doesn't.
The person's character that matters the most.
That's it.
And how much love they can give and how unconditional it is. Because let me tell you, with like other people, it's like, you know what, you know, extended family and friends can be like. It can be really difficult.
Definitely, it honestly can. So totally hear you there.
And I was going to say, Anu, now you've launched Arwyn Co, which is very exciting, which is a mushroom supplement brand.
It is. So like I said, like with Can, he's into his research. So we came across mushrooms and how it can help Arwyn. So we're like, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a go. Because she was really constipated. You know, it was quite bad where she couldn't do any bowel movements. And we were getting worried because she was eating. We were like, wait, where's it all going? Because she was struggling, and it was hard seeing her in that place because she'd be upset about it, and she can't express her feelings like everyone else. She can't come and say, Mommy, my tummy hurts. So it was really difficult seeing her in that position. So we were like, okay, there's been studies on mushrooms, but it can help constipation. It can help her calm down. Let's maybe give it a shot. Let's see. So then we started to give her mushroom supplements. And then in the next couple of days, she had bowel movements. We were like, oh my God, this works. So that was amazing. And then we started doing a little bit more research into it. And then obviously with everything that's going on in our family, it was quite stressful at times. So it said like mushrooms can help with stress. It can kind of calm your anxiety down, anything like that. So we're like, okay, maybe we can start taking it as well. Maybe it will help us. And then like, my energy used to be quite low. So I was like, okay, let me try cordyceps. That might help. My husband started taking lions then because he was in a place where he wasn't focused. Because when you're with Arwyn, like it's all eyes on Arwyn because she's very energetic. Like she's, you know, if she was here, she'd be climbing everywhere, Sean. Like she'll try and climb anything that she can see. So you always got one eye on her. And then so it's really hard to focus on your work or whatever you're doing because you got to think, okay, what's Arwyn doing? So his focus and memory was not like the best how it used to be. He kind of noticed it more so. He goes, okay, maybe I'll take lines when I see how it can help him. So we all start taking these supplements and we're like, okay, this has actually made a difference. I felt better in my energy levels and I was like, okay, this is actually helping me. It's helping Arwyn. And then, okay, let's like dive into this a little bit more. And then my husband started doing more research and he's like, let's do this. Let's make some supplements for Arwyn. Let's name it Arwyn's name. Let's do it under her name and stuff and let's see. And then it got launched.
Yay.
And yay. So it's amazing because it means something to us. It's helped us as a family. And, this is just the beginning of it. So I'm just really excited that we've got something in place and it means a lot to us. And there's been so much research out there and scientific research that has helped kids like Arwyn and, even just for general health and stuff. So I was just like, let's do it. And we've done it. And, we were like, shall we, shan't we? But I think, let's go for it. Why not? And my husband was very much into his mushrooms anyway. So we're like, yeah, let's go for it.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm all for plant-based everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you've heard of plant medicine at all.
I have heard bits and stuff.
Yeah, I would do it. Obviously, they wouldn't do it in this country. You can't actually do it here. But I took ashwagandha at the early part of the year.
Ah.
But that was like, I don't think I've taken mushrooms, but obviously I will be now.
We can. You have to get some.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, like, I think in the Western world especially, they just try and push like the kind of pharmaceutical companies onto us. Like I know
100%.
definitely in America, like Big Pharma.
Yeah.
And almost they don't want us to know.
No, they don't.
That these herbs are out there.
No.
Because I've been on like a massive health journey. I've had so many, I'll save this for another podcast episode. But I had so many issues, my health, my weight, bloat, literally everything you could think of. But actually what's really helped me is actually like supplements, like herbal supplements, whether it's like turmeric, whether it's the ashwagandha, whether it's, so many things I've been able to eliminate because of just herbal,
exactly.
like garlic supplements or neem or all of those things. And I think so many people don't know about this world.
No, they don't. They honestly don't know. And I think that's one thing I've got to be really thankful to Arwyn for, because she actually has been our teacher in all this. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have done this much research on herbal medicines and homeopathic remedies, anything natural. We've done it because of her, because we didn't want to go down the medical route of anything. And she's really kind of opened up our eyes to this world of everything being natural. And no way would we have gone into this if it wasn't for her, Sean. Like, we wouldn't have. So, in one way, she's taught us so much. She's been our teacher to like show us this way of living. And it's amazing because, I didn't know any of this stuff before, and it's only because of her. And same with my husband. He's done so much research because of Arwyn that's led us to this, and it is amazing. So I'm grateful for that. And I just hope that things just work out how we measure and how we visualize, I guess, for her.
I think they're going to absolutely do that. I think that's absolutely going to happen. And I think in life sometimes we get these challenges because we're meant to learn from them. There are spiritual assignments in this lifetime. Isn't it?
Like everything does happen for a reason, but we've had them days. We're like, why us? Like, why am I going through this? Like, come on, God, help me, please. But I guess, they always say that God only gives you what you can handle. And even at that time, I'm thinking, I can't handle this. I can't. But I guess, it is something that, she's chose us on this journey for a reason. And, let's see where this journey takes us.
I do believe actually that we do choose our parents.
Yeah.
And we do choose like the spiritual assignments in this lifetime. And I think our role is to learn so that we don't carry it into the next lifetime.
No, exactly.
And how, like, what do you think helps you, like, I don't like using the word balance, but like what helps you just like, with everything that you're doing? Because obviously I know you're so busy, right? You're creating, you create amazing content, by the way, on social media. So you're doing that. You're waking up at 4:30. Then you've got obviously young kids, like, you've got Arwyn. Like, how do you do it?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's all about having a team at home. And, me and my husband are definitely a team, and we definitely have our roles, and we know what we're doing, and we'll help each other. And I think it's just having a routine. So, the night before we'll make a plan and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to cover it, or whatever it's going to be. And I kind of handle the kids kids, or he'll have his turn, or whatever it is. And we make sure that we manage it throughout the day where we balance it all out. And I think, I'm just grateful that we've got each other to do that, because sometimes it's just the woman that does everything. She's running around, but I'm glad that he's very much hands-on, where we can split our tasks and help each other out through that day. And he also works from home.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so that really, really does help. And yeah, so we've both got our roles, and we just, I think the 4:30 getting up really helps, because if we didn't get up at that time, I don't think we would get half of what that we do, in that morning. It just kind of sets us up and we're ready, and it helps.
Did you used to wake up at 4:30 before? Or were you like, oh my God, what time did you? I'm always so inspired by people who get up at 4:30. It's like my life's goal. I can't get that just yet.
I don't know. I think we about, say, a couple of years ago, I used to get up about, say, 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we've kind of started to do it about 4:30 now. And I think it just makes a big difference, because you've got more time, because I like to make sure that it's all quiet in the morning. I've got that time to recoup and, have a nice morning ritual that I normally do. And it's great. And I just think I couldn't go back to a normal time. I've got to tell a lie though, actually. On a Saturday, that's my day off.
Okay. So you get up late then.
Yeah, so on that day, I know that it's Saturday, they don't have to do any school drop-offs, and we can have a nice lie-in and we'll wake up late. So that day, I just say, look, this is my day just to chill in the morning. But that's the only day I'll have a day off. Sunday, I'll go back into it and then start again. So 6 days of the week, I am waking up early. And then that one day, I'm like, okay, this is my day of just chilling. And it's nice because, on the Friday, we'll sleep late, we'll watch a movie or something and chill, have some popcorn, and then have a late night and then wake up late. And it's nice because it's just a routine that we've got now.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to Friday evening, I get excited because I'm just like, yeah, this is movie night. We can chill out.
Don't have to get up at 4:30.
I don't have to get up at 4:30. It's like give myself a day off. But yeah, it's all about just, I think, me and him just working as a team. And I think honestly that really, really helps us. And it's nice that I've got him. And, we, like I was saying to you, we do have our off days. And when we do have our off days, we'll make sure that we'll have a little, in the evening, we'll have a dance off with the kids and me and him. So that will kind of get us back into that mindset of being happy again. Because sometimes when we've got Arwyn, she can be upset, and then it's changing her mindset as well as ours. So yeah. So then we kind of work together as a team and just help each other out.
I love that so much. Because, in our culture as well, back in the day, so many men weren't hands-on.
No.
So many of my family members I saw that weren't, and the women, it's down to the woman to do it and be the savior and, do everything and put her needs last. But I'm so glad that it's changing now.
It is.
And I think us Asian women, we're just literally no, we're not taking this anymore.
Exactly. So it's nice to know that there are men out there that do help their women, and they're there to support and help. So, and it is changing now. It is kind of sometimes more of a 50-50 these days.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because my mom tells me so many stories, and it's like, Mom, you used to do all this stuff, and he used to help you, and she was just like, myself. I was just like, how did you do it?
Yeah, that my mum came around a few weeks ago, and we were rushing because we had to go to my in-laws, and she was literally like, didn't you make to have breakfast?
I was like,
and
no.
I'm like, I'm really sorry I didn't. And she was like, which basically means you should be making it for him. She goes, you should be getting up early, making him food. I'm like, literally, this is one of the weeks where it was chaos that week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm really sorry, Mum, times have changed. And she goes I goes to have self-sufficient. Normally we do have so together, or I will make him something. But a lot of the times we got on a slight different time schedule.
Yeah.
So it's because we haven't got kids yet. So I was like, it's fine. But my mum was like, no, you should have
make it right. No, that Can does a breakfast in the morning, actually.
I really, oh my God.
He does now.
That's amazing. My husband's not at that stage yet.
Yeah,
he can make like boiled eggs. That's about it.
So no, ours is normally yogurt and fruit and granola or some nuts and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So then, he'll get that ready in the morning for us. And then I'm normally upstairs at that time, getting Chris ready for school, getting Arwyn ready. And she's actually getting homeschooled. So Chris is going to school and Arwyn's with us at home.
Yeah.
But then we'll have breakfast together. But it's nice that we can just sit down for a few minutes in the morning and have breakfast, and then we're rushing off again. But it's nice that we've got that. And then Arwyn's with us at home in the day. And now we've just got a tutor for her, which makes life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully one day she'll go to school with Krish.
Yeah.
We'll see. But she's getting, she's got a nice tutor at the moment. So we'll see how it goes and stuff. But yeah, so I just couldn't imagine her at school at this time. But
yeah,
it was a bit scary. So we thought, let's homeschool her at the moment.
Yeah, I love that so much. So what's the next plans for the mushroom supplement plant, Arwyn Co? What's going to happen?
So we've just launched. So everything's pretty much new.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited for it because we're going to kind of, venture out and contact, businesses, people that are interested in mushrooms.
Yeah.
Like yourself.
Yeah. I'm definitely, I'm like your ideal customer right here.
And then just help other families that may need it. And like I said, it was quite hard to talk about all this stuff first. But now that we there have been a few people that have reached out, other families and stuff. So, they're interested. So I'm just grateful that we can do this and share it with so many other people and just build it up and see where it takes us. And it's all because of Arwyn. So I'm grateful. So I know it's a complete different journey from my makeup. But I'm grateful for it, and it's just a whole new chapter for us.
Yeah.
So it's the beginning of new things, and let's see where it takes us.
And I think with the makeup, Anu, did you basically like let it go because of like the time, right? Like the commitment it took to that business. I guess you needed something more flexible.
Definitely. So as much as I loved it and enjoyed it, I just couldn't put time and effort into it because we had a team at one point, and it was doing really well, and so grateful for that time. But I just couldn't give, I don't ever want to have any regrets. I didn't want to be like, I didn't give my time to my kids at the time that they needed me. So I really had to kind of like say, okay, let me slow things down with the makeup side of things and let me put my, focus on my kids and give them what they need, because obviously they both had different needs. Chris needed me in different ways and Ari needed me in other ways. So I was just like, I don't want to have any regrets. It's going to have to just slow down. And then slowly but surely, then I just completely came away from the makeup, and it felt right. And I don't know whether I told you this before, but when I came to your event, was it this year?
February, yeah.
So when I came in February, and I was there, there was something then. I just felt something then that I was like, I need things to change in a different way, and I'm not supposed to be doing makeup anymore. There was just something that was saying that to me at that time, and there were so many like different emotions. I remember going back home after your event, and I was talking to my husband in bed, and I was like, I feel like this, and there's this emotion, and I felt this, and I just think there's something new for us to do, and what is it? I don't know. And it was just a lot of things in my mind were just opening up at that time. So I'm grateful for that.
I'm so glad you came.
Yeah, so it was amazing. And, even on that day, like, I forgot her name now, but in the tapping that you...
Oh, yeah, Mita.
Yeah, so when I was doing the tapping and everything, just like floods of tears. I was like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah.
But it was just something, and I knew, I'm so grateful that you invited me, because a lot of things from there did change as well. And it was just been giving me a bit of a push. Yeah. Like, come on, Anna, you can do this. You just go for what your heart's telling you. And, you need to make changes. And then with the changes, I was like, okay, makeup is the change. I need to kind of not focus on the makeup. Let's focus on other things where I can help people in this situation. So yeah, so that's what's happening now. And I'm like, I didn't even think it was possible because I was so scared about it. And now I'm here on this podcast talking about it. And, I just didn't even think these things were possible. But like I said, anything is possible and anything can change.
Oh, I love that so much, Annie. You're so inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
And I know it's going to be a huge success.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, I had so many more questions, but we are out of time. But there'll probably be a part 2 to this, I'm sure.
I'm sure there will be.
So where can everyone find you online, and how do we get our hands on Arwyn Co, the mushroom supplements?
So we've got a website with, just type in Arwyn Co and you'll come up, but I'll send you a link as well, Sean, so we can share it.
Yeah.
And then you can reach out to me. So, one thing I would love to say is if there's anyone out there that wants to connect because they're going for a similar situation, then please do. My Instagram is anu_Mahli, which is my maiden name.
Yeah. I saw Mahli Cheema on that and I was like, oh.
Yeah. So it's anu_Mahli. So if you want to reach out, then please do, because I'm happy to connect with anyone that's searching, because I just know that talking to another mum in a similar situation just really lightens the heart. So if anybody wants to connect, please do. And I'm happy to help in whatever way I can.
Oh, thank you so much for being here,
Thank you for having me.
I've loved it. Oh, I've loved it too. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.